The Arizona Ridge Riders entered 2025 determined to erase the memories of their darkest season.
Arizona just can't catch a break.
With 2 electric rookies joining their core of proven stars, they've rewritten the script, shattered team records for wins, rides, and points, while holding strong in the top 3 all year long.
Sometimes you have God on your side, and I feel like this year we've had him a lot.
Now, as the regular season reaches its final weekend, the Ridge Riders aim to put an exclamation mark on their redemption story in front of their home crowd. For J.B. Mooney's Oklahoma Wildcatters, 2025 has been a lesson in perseverance. Battered by injuries.
Yeah, Cord, he broke his ankle. They were dropping like flies on me.
And haunted by close losses. They've fought on, and last week, they stunned the #1 ranked Florida Freedom in their biggest win of the year.
Oklahoma, the latest team to shock the Freedom.
Now, with just 3 games left, their road to Vegas is still alive. Today, on the dirt in Arizona, the push for the playoffs is on. It's the Arizona Ridge Riders and the Oklahoma Wildcatters in the game of the week on CBS.
Oklahoma against Arizona, the Wildcatters and the Ridge Riders. As you heard from JB before the break, yes, he is good friends with Kobe Yates, the coach of the other team, but not on game day. Taking a look at that tail of the tape, Cord, look, very different numbers for these teams, but as we saw last weekend with all the different upsets, none of that matters when the chute's open.
Yeah, the chute's open. I don't think the Bulls know the stats, and they don't care. And there's got to be some hope for the Wildcatters, know they can step up and do it. The problem is one of the guns that they use in that situation, Josh Frost, is not on the list here.
Yeah, this is a team, when you talk about the Oklahoma Wildcatters, this crowd has enjoyed their day here with the PBR. And as we continue to have a record-setting season, not only in live attendance, but on CBS here and all of our networks throughout the week, Tate Pohlmeyer is going to get his chance to get things going for Oklahoma. Gaucho.
Go! Keep right! Keep going!
It was time to step up, and Pohlmeyer did. $86.5.
You gotta love that. Hey, great bull ride, Tate. Both ways right there, just as pretty as a picture. And that's lead-off spot right there that you gotta like. You know, when he stepped off, he pointed the dirt. This is my house. He doesn't care who home game is today.
Only his second qualified ride of the season, but it comes at a huge moment. Everton de Silva. Starts off Ridge Rider days. This crowd wants something big, and they get it. 88 1/4.
Coach, what a way to start.
To Kobe Yates. And back to how calm Wright Everton is. He's just like, oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, that was a huge ride. I mean, I got to agree with Kobe. There's not many guys in that whole Bulls 5-6 years career has had an answer for that. That is a huge ride for Arizona. And to say that he took the toughest one off their list already.
Eduardo Matos, he was injured for a huge chunk of the season, but back in the lineup for JB, facing 9 live. Oklahoma isn't going anywhere. They start 2 for 2. they will retake the lead. 84.5.
Matos, hey, look at this Bass Pro Shops video. I don't think these Oklahoma guys, they might be limping across the arena, but they got some bull riding going right there. Matos made another great ride. They're getting good seats and sticking with them.
So we swing to the bottom of the second, where the Ridge Riders send out their consistent number 2. He's always in this spot. Eduardo Aparecido. Loaded question. There was some contact as that bull left the chute, so does Colby Yates challenge this?
Yeah, you see his hat. There was a lot of contact, a lot of different situations right there.
Colby first making sure Eduardo's okay. And it doesn't seem as though they're going to risk a challenge.
Yeah, everybody's kind of letting it roll by. I'm thinking about the exact same thing you are. You know, loaded questions, hips hitting right there. Oh, I kind of agree with him. It wasn't fair, but I don't think they would get a reride. They're saving their flag right there.
Well,
oh,
now, yeah.
Challenging it.
Sorry, partner, to over-talk you for a second, but we're getting word that they are challenging it.
Ooh. That's going to be a tough one because the difference is, you know, the bull's hips hitting or the bull's hocks. His back legs would be his hocks. Right there is a situation. I don't know if it'd be enough contact to get a reride right there.
So if it's green, it's going to be a reride. If it's red, it's going to stay a 0. And there it is. It stays a 0. Lost challenge. So for the rest of the game, Colby Yates, listen to this crowd. Crowd not happy with the judge's decision. But guess what? Early on, it is Oklahoma shocking this home turf.
I'm rising up from the dust where you left me. I fell dead. Rising up, finger on the trigger, price on my head.
The Arizona Ridge Riders 9-1.
Arizona is the hottest team on the rise.
We got off to a really hot start at the beginning of the year. I think it's going to pay dividends for us.
Don't waste your time loading your guns and throwing your dice. Draw the line in the sand, so brother, you better think twice.
This is a really strong team. You know, enhances our chances of winning this championship, and that is exactly what we're after.
There's a lot of guys on our team that can do the job really well. Eduardo, the most consistent guy on our team.
This guy is so dialed in right now.
We need a big scorer who's going to produce it.
I'm very happy to be part of this team. This team is a family for me.
We've been able to add some new guys in the draft that we're really excited about.
Keyshawn Whitehorse, their closer.
Man, I'm just really proud of this team.
I promise you that our guys are solely focused on winning that championship.
Well, no question, Arizona's put together solid seasonal improvement, but Colby Yates knows none of it matters if you aren't the last team standing in Las Vegas. There he is in the comparison last season to this season. Texas losing on night number 1 of Ridge Rider days. Austin winning. That means there's an opportunity here for the Arizona Ridge Riders, but they find themselves down a qualified ride with Jacoy Hale for the Wildcatters, prepping atop the lister. Former Ridge Rider, by the way.
Yeah, he's got to know that too. It is what to show him what he's got on the other side right there. And Oklahoma has got a little bit of momentum going right now. You know, even from last week.
That's the first buck off for Oklahoma in this game. And that gives Arizona the opportunity to regain the lead. Today's action has got some big boys of their own. Clay dos Santos. What a name for a bull. Judgment Day.
Yeah, that's a good name in the bull business, huh? Yeah. Got it right there underneath you right there. How are you going to get along with Judgment Day right here?
Well, for Dos Santos, his job doesn't change. He's got his opportunity to bring this crowd to its feet and his team to the front.
And Craig, so these pins of bulls already set as even as possible, and then it's up to the coaches to match the riders with the bulls. So Coach Colby Yates telling me he loved Dos Santos on Judgment Day because of his style. He said he rides a lot of up and down, and that's what this bull gives. When he kicks really high in the air. He jumps up really high. Not every guy has the ability to ride the up and down like that, and he thinks this is the best chance to do so.
And when we talk about the style of the bulls and the style of the riders, I mean, that's what you're trying to match up. You look at it in a basketball situation. You got your point guard that's little and fast. You want a guy to match that just like that, because there's bulls that are bigger or powerful. They got to take the power away from them in a certain instance in other sports. They're all doing the same thing, but that different style is what you got to match up. The coach is looking for.
In terms of Judgment Day, and you talk about those matchups, right, and finding who matches who the best, well, just randomly, right, Judgment Day is matched up pretty well with everybody that's left to shoot, right? He's ridden 50% of the time. And when it comes to bull riding, as you know, Corton is our longtime fans know, that's a great percentage for a rider.
That is a great percentage, but you start digging through just a little bit more and look at the 50% of guys that have rode him. You think Josh Frost rode him, Bob Mitchell, Paulo Rossetto. I mean, these are the best of the best and the best in their field. When I say in their field, Josh is one of the best left-handers in the business. Bob Mitchell is one of the highest riding percentages. So not average guys riding the 50%. That's the best guys in the business.
This crowd eager to have a reason to cheer, and Clay dos Santos would like to give it to them. His final prep.
Okay, easy, go through him. I see my bison. I see my bison.
Today was not the day that they paired well, as Dos Santos can't do it against Judgment Day, and Arizona stays a bull behind.
Well, I want to look at this Can-Am camera. You see the ups and downs in the front end of that bull. That's what they're looking at to match up, that they've got to match up, because as you can tell, you lose that timing a little bit. Oh, it doesn't work very good.
Well, with that buck off, we are over halfway through this trek through the desert, but plenty of questions left to answer. And hopefully,
being able to deal with the losses just as good as they do the wins. That's what separates the men from the boys.
When you're close to the ground, that's when the lights get. I found a silver in the dark. Pressure made it shine. Didn't need no ride, just a little bit of time.
the guy that's been the best rider for them this season, Court McFadden.
Yeah, Court McFadden just stepping up right when Oklahoma needs him the most.
They believe it is a possible broken leg.
Yeah, and that becomes a huge hole for Oklahoma to fill.
They're dropping like flies on me, and but we got a good group to replace them, and we're ready to roll tonight.
When you're close to the ground, that's when the noise
Case hits, converts, just when Oklahoma needed him to. Josh Frost matching up with two two-time defending world champion man-hater. And that is 8 seconds of excellence. 92 and a half.
It's not how you start, how you finish, and we're just getting started.
Injury bug is inevitable, but as we heard from the Oklahoma crew, one ride can make believers of a whole team. And at the moment, Oklahoma one ride ahead of Arizona. And Cord, look, this will go down as a huge upset if Oklahoma is able to stay in front of Arizona. But we are far from finished. We enter the fourth. Wingson da Silva aboard Haymaker.
Yeah, Haymaker is a handful to get by, but I don't know what speech J.B. Mooney told him or what training they did this week, but he has got the young guys stirred up and ready to do some bull riding this week, and they're already proving it. Look at the bottom there, the 171 already.
Coach J.B. Mooney telling me Haymaker by far the toughest bull that we have, but Wingson, my best guy for him. He said Eduardo Matos is a guy who throws bull, but he was already battling a groin injury. Well, let me remind you, Wingson started this season coming off of shoulder surgery. So we talked about the guys not available because of health reason on this team. Who is here nodding their heads are all banged up in some way, but he said even with the shoulder injury, he's my best opportunity for him. His style matches him really well, and I like his chances.
Greg, if you're going to go 5 for 5, you've got to use your best guy against the toughest bull, and that's what Arizona stepped out there and did. You know, we looked at Everton on Nefarious to start with, a big 88.25 point up there, and that's what Oklahoma's doing. They want to go 5 for 5. They get their best guy against their best bull.
Shoot clock in there now, under 20. He doesn't nod before hit 0. It's an automatic disqualification.
Haymaker's going to have a hop and skip out of there pretty quick.
Haymaker quickly transforms himself into Hellmaker, just like that.
Yeah. I mean, just take a look at this, this Las Vegas Jib Cam. Look from above. You see the hop and skip. That bull is messing up the timing a little bit. Just a little bit of a change up. And once it gets, Wingson hopping a little bit or moving, and then he catches another gear and spins out from underneath him. Oh, and then bull riding gets real dangerous real fast when you're upside down underneath a 1,700-pound bull.
Great job by all 3 U.S. Border Patrol bullfighters right there. So the opportunity window is open yet again for Arizona. It falls to one of their veterans. It's been a bit of a rough patch of late for Luciano de Castro, but he can immediately make amends with 8 seconds here. Showing their support.
Vici secondo. There you go, Luciano. Right there. Go ahead, Lou. Go ahead, Lou. Go
Luciano leaves his struggles behind, and we are gonna see a lead change. 84 3/4, Arizona on top.
We talked about that several times. That big 88 to lead off is a big changer because all Luciano had to do is stay on for 8 seconds. A lot of points have already put up there. The leaderboard has changed. Luciano is back.
This is an important ride. It is the ride for the Oklahoma Wildcatters. If they don't make 8 seconds, this game is over. So Case Hitt has his chance, and it is one heck of a bull, Cord McCoy, our U.S. Border Patrol pick of the pen. Benjamin Ranklin.
Yeah, Benjamin Ranklin is a rank one, meaning he is a little hard to ride. It's been a long time since somebody has had an answer how to ride him for 8 seconds.
Coach Mooney is all about getting on practice bulls during the week, and his guys always have to finish with the ride. He said, I don't care how many they buck off, but you remember the last one you got on, so you're going to finish with the ride going into the weekend. Well, for Case, he got on 7 this weekend. He rode 5 of them, and I said, why so many? He said, because I'm a bull rider. That's what I'm supposed to do, and the more I ride, the more it keeps me in fighting shape and confident for the weekends.
Playing off what you said, Kate, about 7 bulls. Remember, Oklahoma fighting to get a 7 seed and avoid the play-in game, but they need this one. That's it. Game over. Case hit cannot convert, and that means Arizona wins a pivotal matchup to start their homestand. They move to 22-11 on the season.
Yeah, I watched, Case's training tips. I thought he was looking great. Look at him. He went after some new holds right there. Oh, he wanted it bad. He wanted that 5th to finish for Oklahoma. Didn't get it today.
Keyshawn Whitehorse gets a chance to send this crowd home in an ecstatic state. They've won the game, but how much icing is going to be on the cake? The clock says 6. Part of this crowd thinks it's a qualified ride. Part are left scratching their heads. Does Colby challenge it? Yes, he does.
What's the problem? Hey, I will say, it's Keyshawn. He nodded his head. He made a big correction right out of the gate there to get him, to get him to the whistle, and he didn't quit till the whistle blew at 8 seconds. He did his job. I'm wondering what the judge would look like Colby.
I mean, from all those angles, it seems like a qualified ride.
You can hit him with your helmet without getting DQ'd. I did see the horn come close. There it is.
Hey, it is a qualified ride. And there's the crowd reaction we wanted as the Ridge Riders begin their homestand with a big dub. 88.5. Keyshawn Whitehorse heading out to take a bow. That is how you do it. Let's take a look at our Kubota ride of the day, because it's gonna be a second look at Keyshawn.
Yeah, you gotta love this. This guy is a closer. He is a leader for Arizona and been doing it for a while. You knew if Arizona could keep him within 1 bull for the win, Keyshawn was gonna come through, and he did just that today and walked off.
There he is with his mom afterwards. That's more than a few high fives. The final box score. You've got 3 qualified rides to 2, but it's all about the win. Let's send it down to